Hello and welcome to lesson 10 of unit 5, which is the last lesson before we take I guess, mid-unit quiz test, sort of a quest again, which will most likely be on Thursday, possibly Friday. We'll see how this goes. Okay. So pretty much we're doing the same thing. We're doing functions in graphs and yeah. Okay. So the very first activity just says, what do you notice and what do you wonder about this particular graph? You can really say whatever you want. There's no right answer. You could say things that, like, most of the points are not on the line. That's kind of what I notice. Something like that. The peak of this graph is at this degree in this time, something like that. Okay, so this next activity, or this part of activity 2 here, this is just like if we were in class, you would do this in partners and you pretty much are just saying they're the same, data, but they are a little bit different because one of them has 2 segments and the other one has 4 segments. So it's just how they split it up. You don't need to do any math. Okay, modeling recycling. So here's another one of those. Kind of you decide where to draw the line sort of a thing. So number 1 says approximate the percentage recycled each year with a piecewise linear function by drawing between 3 and 5 lines. Okay, so piecewise is just what the second one is. I mean, they both are. It just means that you can't draw one line because it's obviously going in all directions. So you can't just draw, your typical one line through the points. You have to draw it in little segments. So different people might do different things. Like if you disagree with what I draw, that's totally fine. You can break it up a little bit differently. But I would probably say splitting it. I mean, when you look at it, it's kind of like it goes up, it goes down a tiny bit, it goes up for a long time. Okay, let me highlight while I'm talking. So it goes up mostly, right? And then it goes down a little bit. But then it goes up for a really long time, and then it goes down just a little bit. So that's kind of the general trend. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 different pieces that I drew there. But we could be more specific. I wish that there was a ruler app or something on this thing. Probably is anyway. I don't know how to do it. That's a terrible line. What am I doing? I'm just looking and I see this point out here that I just put a pink dot on, and I kind of see that it lines up with my first point, so I can draw a line between. It's not perfect, but it's okay. And then I can kind of see, I'll do this in different colors. It looks like it goes down from that point kind of to like that, and then it goes up for a really long time. So kind of like this, more or less. To here. And then it goes down. Like that. Actually, let's make this a different, easier color to see. Down. Okay. So that's what I would draw for the pieces. Piecewise just means in pieces, by the way. Do we do that? It wants to approximate the percentage recycled each year. What? Each year? Approximate the percentage of recycled each year with a piecewise linear function by drawing between 3 and 5. Okay. Okay, yeah, no, I think that's fine. I don't think we need to do anything else. Okay, number 2 says find the slope of each piece. Okay, so you can guess or you can find the exact slope. I don't personally really care. I think it's just that you get the idea that like it's a steep slope and it's positive. It's a gentle slope and it's negative or positive or whatever. So like this first one, if I were to pick 2 points, I could say, okay, so like 1 point is like this point. That point is what? Like the year is maybe 1991-ish. And it's at like 16% and then maybe I choose this one and that one's at what, like 1996 and about 22%. So then I can do my formula and I can say, okay, so like 22, oh wait, yeah, that's right, 22 minus 16 over 1996 minus 1991. So then we get 16. So that's 6 over 5. So that's your slope for the pink. So that's the pink slope here. And then you can do that for each one. So if you don't want to find the exact slope, then give me a guess. Like, okay, you know that's 6/5. Maybe you can look at the next line and be like, oh, it's like a more gentle slope. Maybe it's 2/5 or something. You know, give a guesstimate if you don't want to find the exact slope. Okay, so that's what you had to finish number 2. I'm not going to do the whole thing. You guys do that. So activity 3 says Elena filled up the tub and gave her dog a bath. Then she let the water out. Okay. This one's easy. The graph shows the amount of water in a tub in gallons as a function of time and minutes. Okay, add labels to the graph. So they give you hints in this, but it's tricky because like you have to remember, I mean, all the little things like what they correlate to. So if we're talking about gallons as a function of time and minutes, so how that translates to like horizontal versus vertical axis, the gallons as a function, so that means that gallons or like volume, that would go on the y. So this is gallons. And then whatever comes after as a function of, that goes on the x. So this is time. Okay, I hope that makes sense. What else do they want? When did she turn off the water faucet? So when the line is straight, there's no change happening, right? So you can assume she turned it off at this point, that green point. So she turned it off at, if we're looking time in minutes, that's 6. So she turned it off at 6 minutes. Okay, how long did it take for the tub to drain? Or no, sorry, wait, did I skip one? I did. How much water was in the tub when she bathed her dog? So you can assume she's washing her dog along this part of the line, right? So that is how much water? Oh, 24, right? Because I look across and I see 24 here. So 24 gallons. How long did it take for the tub to drain completely? So I'm going to look from this point to this point, and I'm going to subtract the times. So it starts at 18 and it ends at 30. So you do 30 minus 18, and that will give you 4. So 30, take away 18. You guys can do that. And then at what rate did the faucet fill the tub? Same thing. So you're going to look at where it started here and then look at where it ended here. And then you'll take the difference. At what rate did the water drain from the tub? Oh, okay, let me actually help you with this one. I thought that it was how long did it take for it to fill. They're saying what is the rate. So the rate is like the slope, pretty much. So how many gallons, like in a minute, is what they're probably looking for. It looks like it was 24 gallons in 6 minutes. So if you wrote that as a fraction or as a rise over run, it would look like this, right? 24 over 6, and that just equals 4. So 4 gallons per minute. And then you're going to do the same thing for number 6. So you're going to look and you're going to say, okay, this many gallons, so 24 gallons drained in however many minutes you calculate that to be from number 4. Okay, activity 4. The graph shows the speed of a car as a function of time. Describe what a person watching the car would see. So I want you guys to do this one on your own and see what you come up with. It's pretty easy. Remember, if something is going like this, that's an increase. If something is like this, it's staying the same. If something is going like this, it's a decrease. So you guys can kind of make up a story to go with that. Remember, help is always at 11:35 to 12:05. You guys have a quiz on Thursday or Friday. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, if you ever want answers, like you just want all the answers to check your answers for the practice problems, I will send it to you after the 3 days have passed, because no one can turn in work past 3 days. So I know no one would be copying the answer key at that point. So if you're a person that feels like you like to check your answers, and I feel bad that I don't just post it online, but I know that people would, even with the 3-day policy, still just post what they copied from the answer key. And to be honest, the answer key doesn't even show you how to do most of the work. It just gives you an answer with no explanation. But if you just want to check and you're a person who's like, I'll feel better on my, test if I know if I did my homework right, feel free to just send me a reminder and be like, hey, Ms. Rennie, can I have the answer key when the 3 days are up, and I'll totally send it to you. Yeah. All right. That's it. Talk to you guys tomorrow in our morning meeting.